Kia ora koutou, I am Paula Bennett and welcome on into my podcast, Ask Me Anything. Through plenty of ups and downs in my life and have learned a lot along the way. But now that I've got a midlife crisis reinvention under my belt, I know it's never too late to learn something new. That's why on this podcast, I'm going to be talking to Kiwis from all walks of life to hear about how they got to where they are and get some advice and guidance on some of life's biggest questions and maybe even a few frivolous ones too. My guests today were first introduced to us as contestants and winners of The Block back in 2013. And I think it's fair to say they are one of New Zealand's favourite block couples. Alice and Caleb Pearson have renovated 12 houses in 12 years, which is just madness. They hosted the Ultimate Reno in 2018, founded Pearson & Projects, and have gone on to start up a property development company called Waihanga Group. They are real property and renovation gurus. Alice and Caleb Pearson, thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, that's great to be here.
It's great to see you guys. So to start with, I like to give my rules for the podcast.
Okay. We're good with rules. We follow rules.
There's 2 rules.
Okay.
I'm allowed to ask you anything.
Great.
But you don't have to answer it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It works the other way too?
Yeah, sure. I learned that actually. Yeah, know when to not say something. It's kind of
I
good.
bet.
And second rule is this is an absolutely no judgy zone.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just none of that, so you can have some fun. Okay, I like to start with some icebreaker questions that kind of get us going and that sort of thing. Favourite book or favourite movie or something like that? You must read children's books all the time.
Yeah, look, I just am such a big fan of Dr. Seuss. Like, he's amazing. His story's incredible. The way he writes is just amazing for children. And I love that there are things to learn in the most simple little stories. I think that man is like the best writer ever.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I actually quite like that too. We read a lot of him now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I read them when I was a kid, but I'm like impressed with the lessons that I'm learning from Dr. Seuss.
And he's such a neat prose, just sort of bounces through it and it's clever.
Yeah, just all the concepts of, loving each other and loving the planet. It's just, it's beautiful.
Do you have a favourite child?
At various points throughout the day. There's not one consistent favourite, but definitely throughout the week, it's like, you're my favourite now. You're my favourite. It chops and changes all the time. I think there is nothing wrong with having a favourite child, just not consistently one all of the time.
That's my theory. You can reward a behaviour you're getting at times, because I should tell people that are listening that there's 4 children, aren't there?
Yes. Now? Yeah, there's 4 of them. Not many people have 4, and now I know why.
I definitely went up a level with the 4th one.
And what ages do they range from?
They're 8, 6, 2 and 8 months. So we've got 2 older ones who are at school and two younger ones.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love lots of kids. Anyway, I'm not doing my icebreakers very well because I just leapt straight into the children because I'm obsessed with kids. So who asked who out? Come on, how did the mate?
How would you tell this story?
Love story.
Well, we actually got set up by two friends at a like church conference. They thought we'd be a great couple, and they talked each other up to each other, and then we went and met. And Alice came. It was around a whole lot of my friends, and we met for the first time. And then all of a sudden, there's like a whole lot of our friends that knew we were being set up all took a step back and were just watching us.
Watched it.
That was the most awkward time.
Yeah.
But things progressed very well from there.
I love that.
Yeah. So I say I was like the mail order girlfriend, and it pretty much happened that way. Like, we just hit it off, and like 2 weeks later, we kind of started dating and seeing each other quite regularly, and have been ever since.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, we're already well into it. Let's get to know you a little bit more. So, 2013, season 2, wasn't it, for The Block that you were on? I mean, it's a long time ago. Does it feel like it was a long time ago?
Yes. Yeah. It feels like a lifetime ago. Yeah.
And did you know what you were getting into when you went on it? Because, you know, I mean, it was only season 2, so it was all relatively new.
Not really. We watched the first season. We remember, like, with our flatmates at the time, like, watching it, and we were like, we want to do this.
Yeah, we just renovated, and we were like, we could do this.
And it's quite bizarre. Alice, her New Year's resolution, she only had one in 2012, was, I'm going to get on the block. She just said it like as a joke.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything of it. She applied. I don't even think I knew you applied. And then we got asked to come and like go through the interviews.
And so you had done a renovation before you went on the block?
Yeah, by the time we actually went on the block, we had done 3 together. So we had experience, I guess, but it was on a very small scale because we were working full time. We were a young couple. We were just doing what we could afford in terms of renovation.
Yeah.
So to go on the block and pretty much be given this like 100K budget, we were just like, what is this? Like this credit card that like Caleb didn't get the statement to. I was like, what is this?
Alice's dream.
Yeah, and we were doing it full time for the first time. So for us, we had only experienced renovations in our weekends and nights, while this was like living and breathing renovations, and we loved it. Yeah, it was such a cool experience.
And how did you find being in the public eye and the TV kind of element to it, and then people recognising you, and because it's kind of unusual.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be familiar with this too. It was like when we were filming the block, when it started, it hadn't been released anywhere. So there was about a 6 or 7 week period where it was actually like we're in this little bubble. No one knew we were contestants, and we could just like be focused on the renovation. And then like all the advertising started coming up, and people started like identifying us when we were out shopping. Or it was definitely a bizarre experience.
It's when someone you don't know knows your name.
Yeah.
That's what it took me a little bit. Is someone would go, Paula, and I go, oh God, do I know you? You know, and then I go, well, I must know you because you've said my name. And it's like, well, no, you just know my name.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a little bit of an element that's quite fun, but then you're like, I wouldn't want this all the time.
No.
Like, this is...
Yeah, I feel like we experienced it in a small scale way.
Yeah.
And social media definitely wasn't as big when we were on, and I'm quite grateful for that as well, because I don't feel like we got out there in a huge way. People kind of say to us now, you're really familiar. Did I go to school with you? Like people can't place us on the show, which is quite nice that we come across kind of familiar rather than famous, because we don't feel like that.
So did you watch the show?
We actually don't. We don't have a TV at home.
Fantastic.
And we have like, we try to minimise how much like TV we watch. So we're quite selective in what we do watch, and we love it. We love the block.
Yeah,
and we would enjoy watching it, but we just don't have the time really.
Yeah. There's a lot of shows per week, and to be honest, we just don't have that much time to sit down and watch it. So we do the highlights or watch the room reveals and stay up in the know, but that's about it.
So if a friend or family member said they were applying to do a reality TV show, would you warn them off or encourage them?
I would just say go in with your eyes wide open. It's not everything that you just see on the TV. There's a lot more to it. And I think also some of the public response is kind of up and down as well.
Yeah. And different shows would be different, wouldn't they?
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? It would
Definitely.
depend on kind of what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the confidence of doing the block was it was renovation and it was what we enjoyed doing, and we felt like we could be quite genuine with that. There's some other reality TV shows that are quite, I guess, dramatized. And I think that would be really hard to see a version of yourself that's not actually correct. So there are a few times on the block where we felt like the questions we were being asked by producers were trying to paint us in a different way than who we were.
Yeah.
And we were just quite grateful that we talked to each other and didn't answer some questions because we could tell they were just trying to put us at odds with each other or against other contestants, which was just not the case. So
Yeah. So you're perfect for my podcast. I can ask you anything, but you already know that you don't have to answer things, you see?
Exactly. I told you, we're good with rules.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, reality TV, I mean, because I'm at an age and stage in life where I'm kind of like, you know what, just give things a go and have some fun and go for it. But number one rule is I will never do anything that means I'm in a bathing suit. It's just like absolute. You know, if I'm asked, I'm like, there's just no way that is just too much for anyone to have to see, and to see it on a screen would just be absolute.
So would you apply for the block? Would you give that a go?
I haven't got an eye like you. We're going to talk about this a bit later, but I just, I think that my husband is an absolute perfectionist, and he is very clever, right? He's one of those guys that can do anything, you know, and he is. He's a tradie and he's great.
Yeah.
But I'm a sort of a she'll be right. Good is good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And he's not,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know. I don't think that and I'm bossy, of course. So I just think we would be terrible.
Could make for good TV, though.
Oh, it would make for great.
Good entertainment there.
Hey, so what did winning the block do for you? Did it help financially? I mean, it was significant, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah. We were extremely blessed. It was
And shocked.
and shocked. Yeah. We kind of never, throughout the whole show, never really talked about winning any money. It was not like we just didn't have that expectation. We kind of just tried to enjoy the ride. So even on the night, we weren't expecting to win any big sums of money. So it was like a massive shock. Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
We're very blessed from it. We were on this path of doing some renovations and wanting to try and get into some development. It just was able to help us kind of fast track that a bit. We could move forward and do some bigger projects.
I was reflecting on it recently because I never had this moment of how are we going to spend it, which in reality, I was like, why didn't I ask that question or like try and get a bit of jewelry out of it or something? But I think I instantly knew that it would just get put back into what we were trying to build for our future, because that's Caleb's mindset towards finances. And I'm so glad that we didn't spend it in that sense of like, yay, we've won some cash. Like we really reinvested it, and it has set us up for the life we now live.
Yeah, wow. Hey, so renovating with children. So I'm just laughing already. You're laughing. It's like hysterical, isn't it? You know, because it sounds bonkers. Is it bonkers?
We've kind of not known any different. I think it is bonkers, and I think our kids one day will be like, our childhood was crazy. Like, why did you renovate all the time, and why did we move all the time? But they know no different. So they think it's an adventure, and we make it fun, and we've found a way to make it work. There's a lot of tag teaming. One person has the kids, the other person does a whole lot of work.
We've yet to do it with 4 kids though, so I feel like could step up
another notch.
Another notch for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna. Although by now, Alec and Mika will probably be able to be on the tools and help us.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're working towards now, is just like how can we maximise on this child situation.
And then you'll do yours, and then you'll end up renovating your kids' houses when they're older.
Exactly. I've got tree houses planned.
Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, that sounds like fun. And so do the kids do DIY? Are they into it?
Yeah, I think they've got no choice but to be somewhat into it. I need to learn to let them be involved. I'm a little bit of a control freak with the quality control of things, while Caleb's a lot better at handing over a screwdriver and just seeing what happens. But yeah, they enjoy the process.
Do they get to decorate their rooms? Do they get to choose colours and...
They
control freak!
I think Alice makes them feel like they're choosing, but it's her subtle hand that's guiding them.
It's quite a good woman trait.
Yeah. They're always happy with their rooms, and I think that's the most important thing.
It is.
Yes.
No, they enjoy it. They do get involved.
They do get involved.
So do-ups to property development. That's quite different. I mean, there's a lot of risk in property development, right? So how did you make that sort of transition?
Yeah, I've always been in property.
Yeah.
So studied property and was working in project management.
Okay.
And then, so it's kind of, for me, from quite, well, actually, when I finished school, I was like, I want to get into this and I want to do some property development. It was always a goal, but didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So I think it was around, 2015, I moved to work for a developer. So I got a whole lot of kind of first-hand experience and learned a lot of skills. And then I guess it was that. It's still quite a big jump, though, jumping from working for someone to actually kind of quitting your job and actually doing it full time to see how you're going to go. So it was definitely a big risk, big jump. But definitely no regrets doing it.
No, and I don't think people understand that. They just kind of see houses going up and they think, oh, well, they're all in it for that. But as you say, I mean, there's a huge cost involved. There's a whole lot of factors that you can't have control of, although the key to a good development is having control.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot to it and a lot of other people you have to rely on.
Yeah. So we were fortunate, like, while a couple of our renovations were actually like 1 to 2 lot subdivisions. So we had like a taste of like some small scale subdivision. And I think for me, like doing the development, a lot of it comes down to confidence. You want to actually know you can do it. So have that kind of, some people just have that natural confidence, like, I'll do it and make it happen, fake it till I make it type of thing. But I'm like, I want to know what I can do and like have that, I guess, a bit of experience. So it was a bit of a intentional step to like try it out for a couple of times on a smaller scale. And then start out. Yeah,
it's the way to do it. And do you get involved, Alice?
Yeah, I do sort of the interior design for it, though I say Caleb's like the worst client ever because he's always questioning and pushing back. But him and his business partner are very passionate about having houses that we back and that we're proud to have built. So I like it. I like that he pushes me and questions what I'm doing and the design decisions that I'm making, and it's really fun designing for new builds. Just everything brand new and having a real blank canvas, not being restricted by what houses that you're renovating, but actually starting from the ground up. It's a really cool process.
Yeah, it'd be quite different, wouldn't it? Well, I've got lots of questions. So up next, we're going to shift to some advice Alice and Caleb can give from their time in the housing market. We'll be right back after this ad break. Right, Alice and Caleb Pearson are with me, and the key topic I have got you in here to talk about is renovation and selling houses, which you two have a fair amount of experience in. I mentioned in the intro you've done up 12 houses in 12 years. Wow. Is it true you're on your third property development as such?
We've started our second one under construction at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's big, and I really want to talk a bit more about that. So were the renovations on houses to live in or houses to sell, or a bit of both?
A bit of both. Like when we started the renovation journey, we didn't have like an exact plan as such. We just, we wanted to buy a home, and we bought this house that was in desperate need of a makeover. And then and then it kind of just progressed. We weren't like, this is our home forever, but we weren't like, we were buying this to flip. In fact, the one we first bought, we've only just sold recently, which was our last renovation too. And
is renovating for yourselves different than renovating when you've got it in mind that you're going to sell it? So is there a difference in that?
I think we do look at property a lot differently than most people. Even when we were young, it was more about like, what can we afford and what can we achieve with the situation that we're in? And from there, we've seen property as opportunities, like we could buy this and add this value or rent this out or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. We've always looked at property from that mindset rather than we want a 3-bedroom house with a garage in this area so our kids can go to school. We've never purchased a property like that.
Yeah.
And I understand that's how most people think of property and want to find a home. But for us, we've always seen, I guess, potential in what we can add to property. And that's taken us on a journey of, moving 8 times and
living places we probably wouldn't have lived before either as well.
Being in different suburbs and communities and having different experiences of what a house can be because it's not been so much about a wish list for us and how we live, but embracing the seasons that we're in and what we can achieve in that time.
I lived in something like 18 different houses.
Guys!
Between up until about the age of 25. So I remember trying to sit there and count them at one stage and just sort of went, and as you say, I knew no different. It was just kind of our norm.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
We were just kind of always on the move and doing something. So you are currently trying to sell that newly renovated house.
Yes.
But it's not all roses, is it? I mean, the market's,
no.
I'm at Bailey's and, we definitely know that residential market's just changed dramatically.
Yeah. Yes, we've found out that firsthand.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah. No, so when we started, we had the idea, we'll renovate.
Yeah.
It was, at the end of 2021 and the market was very strong and it was everything was kind of like you hold off from putting it on the market because everything seems to be growing and you don't know what it's really worth. And then we started renovating and it took a bit longer to renovate because of lockdown at the end of last year and we had a fourth child, so things we weren't there as much. So we outsourced a lot. But then by the time we did finish and put it on the market, at the start of, around March 2022, the market was very different to last year. I guess our expectations in the market had shifted dramatically. We had to work, I guess, with just the realities of what was happening in the market.
So what are your top tips then for selling in this market?
Oh, I got a lot of good tips on this.
Good. Be realistic, I suppose.
It's a massive one.
Yeah. Definitely be realistic because you can't look at prices from 2021 and be like, my neighbour's house sold for this 8 months ago. I'm going to get that now. It's not like that at all. So you have to adjust to what's actually selling in the last month or so.
Yeah.
So you've got to be realistic because if you're not, it's just going to drag out and you don't know what.
And the market's changing that quickly.
It is.
Like you said, a month, and that's absolutely real.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. We watched it week by week how the market changed as our house was on the market. Like it was bonkers. Like it was crazy to watch how much it was changing, and it really is a buyer's market now. And as a seller, you have to have that in mind. So we really had to, I mean, we were lucky because we had done a renovation and done it to a high level. So we knew we were presenting the best version of the house. But for people who are like living in a house, having it cleaned and well presented, it's so crucial now. You really have to give buyers a really good experience because they do hold a lot of the cards at the moment.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of competition out there. So you've got to kind of value those buyers a lot more than you did last year because there's less of them and a lot of them now are conditional. So you've got to kind of really work with them to try get offers in that are going to work for them. And it's definitely a shift.
And you guys know it better than anyone, right? Because it's what you do and you're so clever at it. But you touched on it there, Alice. It is that how important as to how you're presenting the home.
Yes.
And we certainly find it, as I say, in my real work life, you know?
Yes.
And it's quite interesting having that discussion with people because some are like, don't do anything, then they can come in and put their own mark on it and everything else. And it's like, well, there's some merit in that, but man, clean, tidy, presentable, being able to see yourself in it, is really important.
Absolutely. I mean, you kind of, once you go to sell, even though it's your home, you've kind of got to have the mindset of this is a product. So I walk into every room and go, okay, I'm a buyer in an open home. How would I experience this room? A photographer is going to come in and photograph this house. What angle will they photograph? And does it present every angle and does it capture the light? Which is hard for some people because it is your home, but when you go to sell, it becomes a product.
Yeah.
And you do actually need to look at it a little bit more strategically than just, we love this house, so someone else will.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, especially at the moment.
That's really good advice, yeah.
Yeah, you want them to be able to picture them living in it, that it's their home, not seeing, all your family photos and decor around there. It's like, and they're intruding into your house.
Yes.
And with the changing market, rather than buying and selling, there's more renovations kind of going on and that sort of, and I know, and you both do it and from that building perspective, but I am not one of those people that has a great eye for, I can't look at a room and go, I know how that should all be. So I'm lucky I pay someone to do that. I'm lucky that, and I've got very creative friends. So, so that's sort of how it works. But as you say, you can see a room from that perspective, can you?
Yeah, I can walk into a room and really envision the change that I could make and see where it needs improvement. So when the colour is not quite right or there's not enough texture or whatever it may be, for me that's something that just visually happens, I guess, within my mind and the way that I look at rooms. And I think it's a natural skill set, but it's also something that I've developed and that's changed and grown. Because we've done so many renovations. Yeah.
What's your kind of key tip for renovating? Is there, I always think bathrooms and kitchens.
Yes, yeah.
Are they as important as we all think they are as far as what people look for and what they want?
I think it depends on what your purpose for renovating is. Because I always like to ask why. If it's for sale, then there are things I think that help, like the indoor-outdoor flow, people being able to see that. Kitchens and bathrooms, obviously, they're big expenditure items.
Yeah.
But, if they're nice, they definitely are attractive. But you just got to weigh up that kind of cost versus benefit on those areas. But like open plan living, making it light and bright. And I like saying getting, especially in the buyer's market, like all of those maintenance issues, so there's not reasons that people are going to say no when they get a builder's report or the like. It's dealt with. They can move in and enjoy it.
Yeah. And you talk about light quite a lot, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, every house is different. So your strategy to making it lighter and brighter can look differently. And that also is a lot to do with budget. It's not easy to put in new windows. It's easy to put a fresh coat of white paint on the walls that bounce around the light. So it's just kind of, I guess, working out what the problems are and what you can afford in terms of bringing a solution. But I think there are a lot more solutions when it comes to our homes than we consider there to be. So sometimes when a house is dark, it's like, well, that can't be fixed. And sometimes it is as simple as putting some white paint on the walls.
Yeah. And you've touched on it, but it's that profit sort of part of it and knowing how much to spend. You obviously both keep a real eye on that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. I'm always looking at am I adding value when I renovate, even for our own place? When we first did it, it's like, is this adding value? Because I want to know I'm, I guess, creating value in each property, and especially when you're doing it on sale, you obviously got to recover that money and plus more to make it worth it. Definitely thinking about it all the time, keeping track of the costs, managing Alice.
And whilst I love to spend, I also find a lot of satisfaction in finding a cost-effective solution or finding a deal.
Yeah.
It's like when someone says, oh, nice pair of shoes, and you've got them half price, you're almost more proud that, yes, they're beautiful, but they didn't cost that much. And I kind of feel that way towards our homes as well. Like I have a lot of satisfaction and, it looks amazing, but also it didn't cost as much as people would think it did. So we share a lot about how much we spend on our renovations and our blogs and what we do, because we are passionate about people trying to find cost-effective ways to renovate their homes.
Yeah. And so top tips in that. So kind of shop around, know what you're looking for before you go.
Yeah, and not just throw everything out. Like we think of renovations in demo, but there's actually a lot of gold in our homes that given a second lease on life, you actually can learn to love it. I always encourage people to live in a house for a while and work out what actually doesn't work and what does work.
You are then slightly at risk of getting used to it, I guess.
To be honest.
Could be 6 years later.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, was it really that bad?
Yeah. I'm okay. I can't even see it anymore,
Totally. It blends in, yeah. But no, I think just doing your research, not having urgency. When you spend money, because you need it now, you're always going to spend the most amount of money. So we're very planned, and that helps a lot when it comes to budget, is knowing exactly what we need to get and having enough time to source it so that you get the best bang for your buck.
Just back to the sort of property development, you were saying that you've got one under construction now.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel about doing that in this kind of market? I mean, it is a bit gutsy at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we got development of 9 units underway at the moment in Browns Bay. It's, when we did our first one, it was very different because we put them up for pre-sale and they sold within weeks. There was so much interest, so much demand, and now it's
Mind you, amazing suburb you were building in.
Yes.
Where everyone wants to be.
Everyone wants to be.
Right.
I live there, so that's why I'm being a bit cheeky about it. But so no, quite different.
It is very different. So you kind of got to, I guess, look at risk a bit differently. Got to really make sure your finance and cash flow is sorted, because I think you got to be looking ahead right to the end of the project and make sure you can see through.
And are you thinking about whom will move in? So you know what I mean? Like, is it families? Is it people downsizing? Is it, do you sort of, you think that through when you're looking at the, particularly doing the development side of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like, so for our latest one, we're in school zone for Rangitoto College, so we wanted to kind of make it a bit more appealing for families, because I thought that it might be a bit more family orientated, the end users there. So we made the homes a bit larger and added an extra bedroom. So it's trying to capture that. But of course, I've discovered you can't really pick who's going to be in there. Like it's at the end of the day, I don't know who the buyers are going to be.
We've done that so many times with renovating as well. We're like, this is for a young family, and then it'll be like someone buys it as an investment property. Like there's one we've done a quick flip on, and like this will be an investor, and it was a first time homeowner. Like you think you can pigeon buyers, but a lot of the time you can't work out what they're going to be. So you kind of have to make sure you create homes that will work for different ages and stages, which is sort of what we're doing with the development. Is we consider all types of families and what that would look like and how they could live and use the space.
How about the top tips on what not to do? What's your advice? Or a mistake that you've made and you've just gone, because you've done a lot, right?
I'll tell you probably one of our biggest mistakes in renovation, and we haven't actually talked about it much at all, but we kind of experienced, I guess, like a full-blown con artist on one of our renovations, where this guy was going around and saying it was a project manager from a building company, and he was claiming that there was asbestos in houses and charging for removal when there actually wasn't any, and billing it back to the company, who then would go and bill it to the clients. And I think we assume the best of people, and so I've never been up against someone who is not honest with who they are and how they're going about it. But we've learnt the hard way, and luckily we had people on site that were able to help us out in that situation. But picking the right people is so important, from development, like who Caleb works with, who is building the homes, to just who you've got coming in to be your plumber or your sparky when something's going wrong. When it comes to your home and spending money, I think the team that you have around you is really, really important. Yeah. So you need to do your due diligence when you're hiring someone. Do they have reviews? Have you heard about how they work? Because it's quite a horrible situation when you've got a builder who's ripping you off or whatever that. And it still happens. It still does happen, even with social media and being able to keep people accountable. Like there's people out there that are not honest.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good advice. Really good advice. And your top don't do?
My top don't do? I think just don't make rash decisions. Don't rush into a quick decision or feeling like you have to, especially at the start of the project, make all the decisions quickly. Having more time, you can make better decisions. Yeah. And asking yourself at the front, just asking yourself why, understanding the reason clearly on why you're renovating or what you're trying to achieve, you can just kind of get the outcome that you want and be happy with it.
One thing that I will say that I've learned off Caleb is that he doesn't write things off. So he sat down with a lot of people asking for advice, and they kind of go, I'll never own a home, or we couldn't have a second home. Yeah. Caleb doesn't have that mindset. He considers all of the options. So maybe he would say, don't just assume you can't.
Yeah, nice.
Or that you're not in a position to achieve something, because he's had this willingness always in our property journey to go, what can we do? I'm going to ask a whole lot of people. I'm going to ask the bank. He explores all of his options. Yeah. And because of that, I think that's why we've been able to grow and develop.
I like that. It's quite the joke in my family that because a couple of them are a little bit cup half empty, Yes. And so I one day, after having no, and I just went, can we at least start with maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
it's great.
So now, honestly, about at least once a week, someone will go, well, let's start with maybe, or do you want to go and do? And I'll go, no. And they'll go, shall we start with maybe, But it is that same sort of thing.
Totally.
It's like, if you really want to, you can talk yourself out of anything, right?
Yeah.
You can look for the excuses, you can look for the reasons why not, and renovating and getting into the property market is hard. Yeah. But
absolutely.
It is also possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people get intimidated before they even give it a go. Yeah. And I would just say, maybe you can. Yeah. Maybe it is a maybe.
And especially these days, because you can learn everything really off YouTube if you want to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Change the light, or you want to do something, or, you can actually just sit down and, really do some research for a while and then go for it.
Yeah. So much of what we've done has been self-learned. Like our first renovation, we had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know how to pick up a hammer and demo a wall. Yeah. We knew nothing. And now we're 12 houses down.
Yeah.
So how you start is not how you finish, but some people don't even start.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Great. So I like to end the show with what is, I guess, a bit of a vent, a tribute of sorts to my infamous question timeline. The segment is called Zip It, Sweetie. And we're all going to share something or someone that killed our buzz this week. I suppose for me, I would like to say, zip it, sweetie. I'm still on the weather. I know that that's a bit boring, but I had a few days away. Very lucky. I went to Fiji, and I honestly almost feel worse because I've got the post-holiday blues.
Yeah,
and so zip it to the post-holiday blues. I feel like it was so long ago, and I've lost the buzz of the holiday already. So that's my zip it, sweetie. What would you like to say, zip it, sweetie? To?
Okay, well, I would like to say zip it, sweetie, to teachers only days.
Oh.
We just had one on Thursday, and I feel for like the past 2 years I've been doing teachers only days with all these lockdowns, and it's a lot for parents to have to look after your kids during a school day when they're normally at school, and I tried to make it fun, but maybe 1 a year, 2 a year, but every term, no, zip it up.
I like that. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Caleb,
no.
do you have one? Yeah, have you got something?
I don't actually have one.
He thought he could just ride by one.
He was,
I'm the complainer in the relationship, and he's the everyone's like, Caleb's such a nice guy.
I get that too.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, really annoying.
Zip it up, Caleb.
Well, Alice and Caleb, it's been great to have you in today. And for those that want to see more of your work, how do they find you?
So we have a website called pearsonandprojects.com.
Cool.
And that'll link you to all of our social media channels and YouTube and all that jazz as well.
Yeah, and they can check it out. And you put some tips in there as well, don't you? And show them what you've done.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We showcase all of our renovations on there and lots of advice.
Cool. People should go and have a look. And that is another episode of Ask Me Anything, done and dusted. You can find me on social media, or if you want to reach out about the podcast, or maybe you've got a question for me, send it through to paula.bennett@nzherald.co.nz. Do go and follow Ask Me Anything on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also catch my weekly column in the Herald on Sunday. I am Paula Bennett. Ask Me Anything. Goodbye.